Well, we're back, episode 3, doing some more logging. It started raining in between episodes here, so everything's getting a little bit muddy. I also took the mulcher around and mulched up the ground to kind of make it look a little bit more like what a actual landing would look like, all torn up from the machines running around. I hauled out another forwarder load of logs here, just trying to get it cleaned up a little bit more out there. What Colin had cut up in the first episode. He again may or may not be joining us here, but I wanted to play, so I figured I'd just start recording it. Can't hurt to just talk to myself, get better at it. I also took the mulcher up through the woods here and cleaned up some of the stumps just to make the road a little bit easier to drive on. My plan here is to get some more of these logs cleaned up right out here. I probably only have one more load with this forwarder. And then we can start with the harvester and we can start cutting up the road some more ourselves and get some video of that, see how that goes. Hopefully I'm recording all of this before the first video even comes out, so we'll see how it goes. Still trying to get the sound volumes right to get the sound mix right so that it sounds good. And I know when I use my current setup, I stream a podcast with, and for some reason the podcast is always quiet on YouTube, and I can't figure out for the life of me why it comes through quiet. All the audio meters that I have, they all seem to be saying that it's good, but anytime I go to play it back, I switch from my video to somebody else's, and I always have to turn the volume down. I don't think it's that big of a deal where we don't have that many viewers, so they can just turn it up or down. Everybody's got a volume knob, but it still is just a little bit annoying to me. The last episode I was talking about real life simulators and how I remember going to a logging expo and there was a simulator there. I did some research and I found that John Deere, Caterpillar, and Komatsu all make their own forestry simulators to train people. It's supposed to be like a tech school training type of simulator. And it looks like the John Deere one anyway. I saw pictures of it's called TimberTech, is a CD for your computer. And it looks like it's essentially like a game that you can install. Not that it's a game. It's supposed to be a training tool, but I can't find anywhere to download it. It says if you go to a John Deere dealership, you can buy the simulator, but it doesn't give a price. My guess is they're probably five or 6,000 anyway. Could be more, because I don't know if the simulator they sell is a seat, controls, and the software, but it doesn't say anything about requiring a computer or a monitor or anything of that sort. For some reason, I thought there was more logs out here. Guess this is all we're getting, and then we can start with the harvest, which is good because that's what I wanted to do anyway. So anyway, it was just it shows a seat, controls, essentially like a racing simulator, or what you would imagine an equipment simulator to look like. But there was no price or anything, so, and no free download links for any of the software. Let's back this out of the way here, and you can jump in the harvester. Like I said, it started raining here. I don't have my graphics settings turned up really high, so you can't quite see the rain like you can if they're turned up a little bit more, but it is raining. I know in the first episode I said I prefer the wheeled vehicles, but I'm gonna give this a try. This is a mod here. This is one of the FDR tracked harvesters, and with this one, it's more realistic. You can tilt the head, close the grapples, close the wheels. You can let's see, you can run the wheels, use a saw, or cut the way the factory one does. But the only real issue I have with the factory machine, besides besides being cooler that you can run the wheels, like I can just, if I wanted to, I can. Let's see. Actually, I've never done it before, but let's see. Oh. See, that's a. There we go. So I can run this manually if I want. Or I can use the in-game log measurements. Oh, I didn't show. If I'm running it manually, I can use the saw and cut pieces off, but which is neat, but it's not something that I have a ton of practice with, so it's kind of difficult for me to do it smooth. Plus, there's no way to really get your accurate log measurements. I just tried to spit that little piece out there, the top, and I didn't want to go, but so with the factory one anyway, I started saying the problem with the factory one is once you get the tree cut like I got it here, there's no way to. It does not rotate the tree like this. I have no experience running anything like this in real life, so maybe you can't actually spin the tree like that in real life. I couldn't tell you. But I'm sure everybody appreciates that, me clearing my throat right into the mic. Just something that I have to remember to not do. It's the third episode here. I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully we start getting some views on the videos and people actually like watching the game be played. I know I like watching it, and I also like playing it. And I just figure anytime I'm playing it, I'm always just talking to myself in my head like I'm making a YouTube video, so I figured I might as well do it for real. The only problem is keeping a consistent thought in my head, because when I'm playing by myself, I don't really think about what I'm saying. I'm just playing and rambling in my own head. Not really talking about anything that makes sense, but these tracked machines, because they are mods, they are a lot more stable, a lot more powerful than the base game Komatsu there. I'm going to cut a couple more trees here, and then I'll switch over to the Komatsu, and we'll see what the difference is. Colin was saying that he wanted to, once we get up to the hillside there, if we look on the map, let's see. When we get up to the top, there's a road. Let me pull up the actual map here. So this is a hill we're cutting up here. I got a road that runs up this way, cut this, and we can keep coming up here. Colin wants to set a yarder up at the top here and play with that. See if we can run a cable all the way down to the bottom. So I think once I get to the end here, I'll probably end up bringing the fella buncher head out, and maybe I'll cut with the fella bencher up the side of the hill here. Try that out. That's something I'm not very good at either, using that mod. So it's all just fun. And I don't think I'm that good at the game, but I'm also using joysticks, like I said, so it's a little bit easier than somebody who has a controller, so it's definitely easier for me to be better. And that's what is fun to watch, when somebody's actually better at the game than you are. So I don't think a ton of people have put the money into playing the game like this. Not that it's a lot of money, but if you don't have a computer and all you have is a Xbox or whatever, it is a lot of money. Whoa. Smash the head right into the cab. I've luckily owned a computer for a few years now, so it's easy for me to get into a game like this, but a lot of people don't have that luxury. Kind of see here the The ground sloping up on the sides here. We're running up through the center of this valley. I wish I had a rhyme or a reason for the trees that I'm cutting here, but really I'm just following this path that I painted on the ground. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll have to start talking to my dad a little bit more, get some better facts. He used to be a logger. He used to have all this equipment in real life, and I was too young at the time to really have fun with it, but he's done it for his whole life, basically. I'll have to ask him, but I think there's really only two reasons why you cut. Two ways to cut wood, I should say, not two reasons. One is somebody owns the land, wants the money from all the logs. They sell them to the mill. The other reason is for forest management, and generally, I think that's what he did more of, was forest management. And when you do that, there's a forester that comes through and marks all the trees that he wants you to cut, and you cut them and essentially thin out the forest so that wildlife can better survive. You give them more opportunity to get food. More opportunity for new better growth of the trees. But I don't know if that's the way it is in the whole world. Or if there's another reason why we log, other than like I said, the fact that we need wood to build houses and people want to sell their wood. So maybe there's another reason that I am unaware of. Let's see, maybe he'll watch some of these YouTube videos. Stuck on a stump. There we go. I forgot I said I was going to switch up machines here. Move this. Just to trash on Giants a little bit more. I feel like it's such a good game. So close to being a really good game. Like I said, I was saying how they were missing the boat, but there's another game called, used to be called Spin Tires, now it's called Mud Runner or Snow Runner, or they really, really changed up the names, but in that game, your truck would sink into the mud. Now, I'm not saying you have to have the mud just like Spin Tires, but you could have a little bit more mud on the ground here. This game, everybody's making a big deal about the ground deformation, and it is cool. I mean, I'm not denying that, but it's not anything special, I would say. Like, when you used to see, off topic here. I'm trying to rotate the head right now. No, not rotating at all. The hydraulic hose you can see is spinning, but nothing. The head itself isn't rotating. But if I drop the tree, look at that, it spins around. So it's kind of odd, but. So the ground deformation in this, it's there, but it's nothing that I would say is like earth-shattering. Like, doesn't really make the game that much better, because it's just weird the way it works. It's not like it's not like, oh, it's raining out here. You get out and your tire is 6 inches deep in mud. No, you look back here. Oh, the graphics look like the tires on the ground. And like I said, my graphic settings are turned down here a little bit, so you're not going to notice it as much. But where it's raining here and I got this muddy road, this tire should be into the mud, but it's not. Look at the cab's got some auto leveling going on. It's really they got some stuff so right, like it's just like really, really cool, and then the other stuff, it's like they didn't care. Like, oops. See, that's the problem with the base game machine. This tree is, maybe a tree would tip this over in real life, where I'm reaching on the wrong axis here. But I find it hard to believe that it would tip over that easy, where I don't have the I don't have my boom, like I can extend the boom out where it wasn't extended. I don't think it should have been flipping over like that, but like I said, I don't have any experience with something like this in real life, so maybe that's exactly how it would be. Should have got rid of that top instead of putting it in my pile there. I was talking to my one of my brothers about this game, and he also likes the game or the concept, but he's like, I don't see the point. Like, if I'm doing this, why wouldn't I just go do it in real life? And to some extent, I agree with him, but also I just beat the processor head into the ground Not on purpose. It was an accident because I'm not that great at using this, but I don't have to worry about it. Nothing broke. Where if you were to do that in real life, I don't know how many times you could hammer it into the ground and not have it be a problem. Get a little bit farther here, and then we'll go back to the forwarder and finish filling it and take it the rest of the way out of the woods. Just leave this here for now. Just the amount of detail they did put into the machine to make it accurate. I mean, I'm sure that Komatsu, that's what they would want, is for their machine to be accurate in the game. But it's just neat. I've always found that stuff cool in real life. Where this is a modded machine here, I don't think it's quite as accurate, but I do think it's pretty close. I should say it's not as detailed. I think it's pretty well accurate. But like I said, the only reason I use this versus the base game machines is because of how well it works compared to the base game. I should probably grab that a little bit too far out at the end. I try to grab it not quite center, but close to it. If it's not, I do want it to sit just like it is now, so that way I can slide the logs up towards the headboard of the truck as I'm putting them in the bunks here. But I just grabbed that one a little too far away. Oh, look at the size of that tree. Maybe I cut some down like that. That one just looked big to me for some reason. Oh yeah, look at that. Just dry right in here. I feel like this machine here it's just a little bit big to be in the woods sometimes. I'll maybe in the next episode, I'll just for fun, I'll get one of the other base game machines, and I can go over the differences and kind of what I think is cooler about the other one and why I think the other one would be better, but and I can show the problem. Whoa. That stick didn't want to come. Thing that makes it nice about, like I said, I like playing this game, and these are the videos I like watching, is people playing with the equipment. So it makes it easy to record a video like this, because I like playing the game. It's a full-length video. I don't have to edit much. I usually do chop a little bit out at the beginning and maybe a little bit out at the end, but just an easy video to make. There's that little piece of wood that I chopped off with a harvester. I was testing it out. Try to give it a little throw. Running through backwards on this one because the trailer's heading uphill. That way the logs don't slide out. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult not feeling the feedback, especially when the head drops down into the pile of logs. You don't really notice it or hits the ground like that. But the more you play, it's just gets a little easier every time to be smooth with it. Back to not knowing or having a rhyme or reason as to which trees I'm cutting. In the future, I do have plans to plans for an idea, I guess, to give me a rhyme or a reason, and not it's not so much a realistic rhyme or reason, although it could happen. I think it'd be pretty rare case around here. I'm just waiting for a new map to come out so that I can make it a little bit more believable, I guess. And we did have a map that we were playing on, but Colin had mentioned, maybe we'll be on a different map. We were playing on a different map before we started recording, but it just didn't anytime you would cut a tree with a harvester, the head of the tree, the top, would get stuck in the ground, and there was no way to get it out of the ground. Once it was in the ground, it was basically stuck there and wouldn't move. And anytime you would try to process the tree, like I said, it was in the ground. That's not what I wanted, but so the tree's stuck in the ground while you'd go to process it, hit the process button, and it would drag your machine across the ground down the length of the tree rather than dragging the tree across the ground. And it was just so frustrating that it would not make for a good YouTube video. If you could somehow cut the tree down and have it land on the ground gently, the top wouldn't get stuck, but it was a very difficult thing to do, so I kind of gave up on that idea and that map for now anyway. But that could come along with the farming and all that stuff too, so. So you probably take this last little pile here and call that good, head back and unload it. One thing I didn't think I would like so much about playing on this map versus last map we played on, it had varying size trees, but I would say 90% of them were big logs, like these logs that I got in the grapple here. That's what the whole tree essentially consisted of. And too far back. And it was a lot easier. I mean, I don't know that I would say easier, but it was a lot quicker to load the forwarder or load your log truck or whatever. But I actually don't mind playing with these smaller. Oops, I shut the machine off. I don't mind playing with these smaller logs. It's actually kind of nice. Something different. So in between episodes here, I'll probably run through this with the mulcher, clean these stumps up, and just get the road a little bit smoothed up. Like you can see here on the map, you can see, I wish I had just a cursor that I could pull up easy. I guess I'll pause it. You can see where I've come through with the mulcher, made the road coming in. It'll be neat to see it on the map once I get it all carved in. We're almost to the split. I think the split's somewhere down here, and then we start really going uphill. Okay, let's go back and unload this. I just spin the forwarder around because I was afraid this little slope here, the logs were going to slide out on me while I was unloading. What would be cool here, in my opinion, I think a lot of people would feel the same way, but is if you could really stack the logs up here. Like, have this, the height of the machine, both sides of the landing. But the game just, it can't handle that many items. I should say yeah, I guess items, entities, logs. Too much compute work when you have that many things, free floating things out on the map, I guess. Kind of like oh, that was perfect. That one wasn't. Kind of like Minecraft, I guess. If anybody that's watching plays Minecraft, when you dump too many items onto the ground, the game lags until you get them all picked up. Well, when you have too many items, too many logs on the ground here, same thing. The game lags until you get them picked up. So 2 or 3 forwarder loads is about all I'm going to load out here at a time, and I'll probably put a few clips of loading up a log truck here or there, but probably won't worry about showing everything I'm doing here, but try to keep a variety. Every episode do something different, not do 2 of the same episodes back to back. Although I think this is kind of what I'm doing here. We ran the harvester for a good 20 minutes though, so. Yeah, see, when you get a bunch of small logs in there, mixed in with the big ones, it's kind of neat. Maybe we should try cutting some different log lengths. It's one thing that maybe the game does figure for it, but I don't think it does. The wood having different value for different lengths. Like, in real life, the longer, the straighter the wood, the more valuable it is versus the short pieces, but I don't know that this game figures for that. I don't think it does. Sometimes I get all messed up with my rotation. I start rotating back and forth, and I can't catch it. It's just swinging back and forth. See, that's where feedback, force feedback joysticks, that's what we need. Here we go. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this over towards the mulcher. I'm going to load the mulcher onto the back of this here, and I can haul it out. That way I don't have to drive the tiger. This mulcher here goes right on that tiger cat. That way I don't have to drive the tiger cat all the way back here to load this up. I don't know. Look at that. Like a claw machine. Picking out my prize. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, I'll haul that out there in between episodes here. I'll probably get some of that pile hauled out of here with the log truck. Log truck's right there. I'll just back it in. Just so that we don't have any problems, because I can tell that the game, I have an FPS counter. I can tell that it is slowing down just because there's a few more logs out here than there was before. Oh, look at that. You can see the tiger cat there through this field. But, yeah, probably going to call it there. Keep an eye out for the next video. Next video is probably going to be more harvesting, more forwarding. I don't know if that's what you call it, forwarding. Hauling logs, loading logs, selling logs. A lot of logging. So, keep an eye out for the next video, and thanks for watching.